Hi everyone! Welcome to another episode of Nathan's 3D Factory. In this episode, I am going to do a tongue and groove type of construction here. So I'm going to make a modifier for this so you can easily do this for any of your projects that you want to do. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to demonstrate on this cube. And so the first thing that I want is that I want to add geometry nodes. And then I need a couple things. I'm going to need another object for this to interact with, right? And so I'm going to add object info. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is that I'm going to have this so that this object can be selected from outside of the geometry nodes. All I have to do is just pick it with this, right? So I'm going to add an icosphere as an example. And then I'm going to increase this up to 5 on... Sorry, that's supposed to be 4 on the subdivisions and 5 on the radius. There we go. So now I'll go back into here. And I'm going to say I want this to be my object to interact with. So now we have these two objects. If I go into wireframe, not much happening, right? So what I can do is I can say, all right, well, I want to have a boolean going with this. Okay. So we have our initial object right here, and then we have our other object that we're subtracting from here because I'm going to have this a difference. So now that we have that, I want to do a few more things to kind of control the geometry on this. And I also want to do this so that we're not just having it so it cuts a hole immediately into the mesh. No, instead, I'm going to have it so that it extrudes outward. So I'm going to say extrude mesh. And immediately you can see a bunch of funky geometry going on here. I want to uncheck individual. And now I have this kind of shell that's surrounding this object, right? Now I want to be able to control how much offset I get on this. And I want this out here so I can see that from out there. So to do that, I am going to say offset scale will go out here. And now I can control that simply by taking this little slider value. I'll put that at 0.5. Now, another thing that I'm looking at when I'm doing this construction is that if I need to move this object, then I need this to follow where it's going. If I were to do this right now, it stays in the exact same place. Nothing real-time happens. You'd have to manually adjust that, right? So next thing that I'm going to do is add a set position node. Okay, now I'm going to take that geometry. I'm going to put it right in between these two. So right now, it's still not moving or anything, but if I take location, one thing that is to note as well is that I tried doing it at set position, and that didn't do anything, right? So I just want to show you that. Doesn't do anything. But when I add it to here, then as I move this around, now you start to see it move in real time. This is what we want. So now we have our object that can interact with this. We have the sleeve that kind of goes around it. So if I say GZ, then I have something there. Pretty cool, right? So this gives you real-time stuff that you can do with it. If I X that out, I can get that out of there. Now let's say I want to do something else. I want a cylinder, right? Okay, I'll say 16 on the vertices. On the radius, I want to go 5 as well. And I'll put the depth at 50. Okay. Now with this cube, I just take the cylinder and I could just do this, right? And just say, all right, here we go. And now, just moves about, does the same thing like what happened with the last one, right? So you can plug in any object with this modifier. It's really cool. I do want to name it something meaningful as well. So we're just going to call this tongue and groove. We'll say that. Do that. So there we have a simple custom modifier where you can do a tongue and groove type of thing. So it could be for joints, sleeves, tongue and groove, whatever you want to call it. So it's really cool that you have that kind of control. And again, you can control how big that offset is. So it's pretty cool. So let me know what you think of this tutorial. So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got some inspiration. Let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe if you haven't done already so that we can keep this channel growing. I really appreciate it because this really, really helps us with our success on this channel in giving you more quality content. Thank you so much and have a great day.